Hello everyone, this is Sambit from the Final Academy. Today we are going to talk about how to get a job after college with no experience. You can know more about us by visiting the website www.thefinalacademy.com. We have only one job to make sure that you are getting your job. When you are coming out of college, the most common questions what you are facing is what to do after college. How long it is going to take to get a job? You know that after college you have to do a job, but how long it's going to take? 1 month, 2 months, 3 months? And then how to get a job without any experience? Most of the job advertisements saying they need, or at least they prefer experience holders. And how are you going to compete with experience holders? To analyze these things in more details, let's meet AJ. He's an imaginary character. He's a recent college grad, or we can call him a fresher. He has a pretty decent GPA. However, he does not have any work experience and he's very confused now. He's confused because he can't get a job without any experience and he can't get any experience without a job. If you see this picture and you try to analyze, one side is the hiring manager with a job offer available for anyone who can cross the bridge. And AJ's problem, he doesn't know how to cross the bridge. When you talk about some of these most common situations here, if you consider what is that bridge and what are the challenges you face, you are applying to hundreds of positions every day, but you are not getting any response, or you are getting very few responses. Sometimes the recruiters are responding, there is 1 or 2 emails, but they're gone after that and you don't understand what happens. Most jobs are preferring experience holders. Even if you are getting a couple of interview calls, but you are getting disqualified during the interview process, so you didn't get a job. Your few friends are able to get a job, but you are not sure how they did it and they are not ready to share their experience. So you think internet is the solution to everything. So you are searching the internet how to get a job. You are watching hundreds of YouTubes. You are spending a lots of time, but still you are only knowing what to do, but no one is telling you how to do. And out of all these problems, you can say the real problem is AJ doesn't know how to sell his skills, experience and ability to the prospective employer. The employers, remember the bridge example? The employers, they have an opening. All they want is someone who can come on board, cross the bridge and convince them that they can do the job. And that's it. If the employer is convinced that you can do the job, they will be more happy to take you and they're more happy to add you to their team. From their point of view, till you convince them, till you explain them clearly your abilities and your skills, they're not able to understand which of these characters you are. Again, this is a funny scene, but this happens every day. Is it you? Or is it you? Or is it you? They have no clue to know. And it's only you who can convince them that yes, I have the ability to do the job what you want me to do. And we consider it, or we call it the side door approach. If you know the side door, why we call it as a side door? Because ideally the front door is the online job application process, where you apply the jobs, go for the interview, and then you see what happens after that. The back door we call it as campus placement, where the companies, they go to college, meet your placement officer, interview some of those students, and then they pick the guys from there. It's very easy to get, but normally everyone is not lucky enough to get placed through the campus placement. So now let's do a little bit of more deep dive to understand the numbers, how it really works. So when a company try to recruit freshers or fresh graduates, normally they try to recruit 5 or 6 of them at the same time. So when you see on job advertisements, it's ideally what it says that someone with from 0 to 3 years of job experience, that's how you see it. So that means they are definitely going to consider freshers, and at the same time, sometimes they says that experience holders preferred. But what you will say, don't worry about that word, that experience holders preferred. What they're looking for is someone who has the experience to do the job. Now let's come back to the numbers. Normally when someone looks at a job opening, depending on the company, they will go and apply for the job. For bigger companies and better companies with better compensation like Apple, Facebook, Google, these numbers are much higher. But again, let's just understand what happens from a very ballpark number point of view. Approximately 2,400 candidates applied, or they saw the online advertisement and click on the apply now button. Most of them anyway will be rejected by the applicant tracking system. And in this example, we have 275 resumes shortlisted for the aptitude test. After the aptitude test is done, then there are multiple rounds of interview, like coding, subject interview, verbal interviews. It's done by the recruitment team, the hiring manager, the technical team. And when this thing is done, then what they do, they talk among themselves, and then they try to find who are the right candidate for them. And it's kind of a voting process. The HR team, they may prefer 5 candidates. The technology team, they may prefer few more. And based on that one, they have a good discussion based on for the final approval, and then they pick the candidates. So pretty much, long story short, out of 2,400 candidates, only 6 of them who got the job offer. And it's not that all of them are going to accept the job offer. Maybe 4 of them are going to accept the job, and 2 of them are going to reject the job offer. And that's pretty common scenario, because someone is getting at Google and Apple at the same time, and then they have the option to choose which company they're going to join, and they cannot work with 2 companies at the same time. So your chance of getting a job is kind of 6 out of 2,400 if you put it in that way. It's as competitive as going into any good colleges. But really, if you think, out of this 2,400, probably 2,300 of them are not well prepared. So your true competition is only going to be probably top 100. And out of those top 100, it's very easy to prove your existence. It's very easy to prove that you are the right candidate if you know what to do. And that's why we are here for. We are going to teach you everything what you can do to stay on the top of the stack. And this is what they do. All they do is they try to pick the right hire. And right hire means the person whom they think is going to fit in their team. Now the next interesting thing comes, really, what is experience? When someone is saying that I need someone with 5 to 10 years of experience, 0 to 3 years of experience, what is that experience? What's the definition of that? The definition is that what skills you have learned in the past so that you can use it in the future for the company you are going to work for. So then from the experience point of view, there are 2 different types of experience. One is called soft skill and one is called hard skill. And let's talk about each of them. What is the soft skill? The soft skills are the personal skills. That kind of explains how you work, how you manage the team, how you manage different type of situations, how you communicate, how can you impress the customers, what are your different type of leadership skills, can someone depend on you to do the job, and pretty much everything what is non-technical. So the soft skills, these are the ones that should be within you. Either you develop them from your college, or that's already inside you. You don't need training to build those soft skills. And what is hard skills? Hard skills are teachable abilities that are very easy to quantify. Like I have 5 years of experience on C++ coding. That you can call it as a hard skill. So when a recruiter or an employer is looking for 5+ years of experience or 3+ years of experience with C++ programming, that is what comes as a hard skill. And how can you justify your hard skill? You can have experience, or you can have a certificate, or you should have exposure to computer programming. And normally you mention on your cover letter and your resume. And it's easy for the employer and recruiter to recognize and to find out that who are the guys who are actually meet those criteria for the hard skills. So now when you are talking about both hard skills and soft skills, then which one is actually preferred by the employers? It is not possible to find everyone with all the skills what they are looking for. So whom they recruit, whom they pick? The answer is soft skills. Hard skills, it's better to have, but soft skills is a must-have. So if you are really proud that you are a good programmer, you have all the technical ability, you have really good GPA, and you think the companies are going to pick you. So if they are not selecting you, if you are disqualified during the interview, probably it is that you are lacking the soft skills. If you don't have the hard skills, then maybe they can train you. But if you don't have the soft skills, it is very difficult to build that over a small period of time. Now let's talk about what are the soft skills preferred by employers. It's teamwork, communication, time management, problem solving, creativity, leadership, organization, emotional intelligence, decision making, and stress management. So every skill what you see here, you have to mention it during your discussion with your recruiter. You have to put it on your resume and cover letter, and you have to explain it during your interview process so that the recruiter, the employers, and the hiring team, they understand who really you are. So now you know, if you remember the bridge, so this is what the skills you require, you need to cross that bridge. And you may have those skills, but if you cannot explain the employer that you have these skills, then pretty much you are helpless. And what are the hard skills? These are the analytical skills, your IT skills, your computer knowledge, your presentation skills. Probably project management skill is not applicable for a fresher, but if you have it, that's definitely good to have. And marketing, writing, graphic design, these are some of the most important hard skills the employer is looking for. Again, when you are preparing for your job search, you have to make sure that both these hard and soft skills are perfectly explained in your resume, in your cover letter, and you have to explain them during the interview process and your discussion with the recruiter so that they can have a much better picture about you and who you are. Now here is the good part. Can you use your college experience? Can you use everything what you learned at the college to prove that you have the relevant hard and soft skills? The answer is absolutely yes, you can do that one. You can do that one, but you need to know how to do that one. That's the trick. You need to convince them, you need to convince your hiring manager using the stories, using the experience of your life, using experience from your part-time job, from your internships, from any other thing what you have done. You have to articulate it clearly so that they can have a better understanding. Because from a hiring manager point of view, all they want to know is, can you do the job? And of course, at a lower cost. The reason they are looking for 0 to 3 years of experience is that if they will find someone with the experience, but not exactly the number of years of experience, they have the skills to do the job, then definitely they are going to pick him. So in this case, you have a much better advantage than someone having 3 years of experience because they are very expensive. And as the fresher salary is less than experienced hire, most of the companies, you believe it or not, they prefer the freshers. or the recent college grads. Now when it is going to hiring preference, let's understand whom they prefer. They prefer someone definitely with the hard skills, which in this case let's talk about the core skill, or which can be a marketing or coding or programming. Definitely you should have those type of skills. And just having the skill is not enough. You need to prove that you are an expert in that skill. You should have the leadership ability. You should be a winner. You should have the attitude and appetite to win. And then how they are going to know that you are the one who has all this ability? They interview you. They can go through the online job submissions to find out who has all these abilities. Or maybe they will prefer the referrals, and the referrals can come through your network. So that's the reason most of these companies, they pay a good amount of money to their employees if they can refer their friends and relatives or someone who they know that that person is a good person, that person is a hardworking, smart, intelligent, and he has the necessary skills. Because it is very difficult to know someone from just 1 hour interview, but if one of their own employees they are referring, that means a lot to the company. Now let's find out how the jobs are filled and how you can be a part of that. And all the reason we are talking about this situation here, all these details, so that you can prepare yourself, and actually we are going to help you preparing for all those details, and you are going to get a step-by-step instruction about how to achieve your goal. So as I explained in the previous slide, the number one preferred method of recruitment is through the network. But then what's the challenges? How to start? You know your friend's parent, he's working for Apple, but you don't know how to start. How are you going to approach him? How can you tell him that you have all the necessary abilities and skills that they're looking for? How you start the discussion? And just explaining your thing is not enough. It needs to be polished, and pretty much you should be able to impress your network connection. So when I'm talking about network, it's the professional network. You should be able to impress them, and what really you need to impress them? Just by telling that I can do the coding, I can be a good fit is not enough. You need to prove it. And how you can do that? You can have a good personal mission statement. You should build your professional communication skills. You should have a step-by-step blueprint, and moreover, you should have the confidence to do that. You should build the contact list of everyone you can approach to build a network. And you should clean your internet profile with your accomplishment details. And what you see here is just a small list of things what you can do. And the goal of this course is what you are going to, that you should be able to learn everything what you are covering here. Then the second thing comes is the competitive applicant pool. It's pretty much the companies will go and place for a job advertisement. You see the job advertisement, you apply there. What are the challenges? The application shortlisting. From the previous example, probably a couple of hundred applications are shortlisted out of 2,400 applications. And if you see, that's less than 10%. And how to make sure that your resume will be shortlisted and you can get the interview call. And even if you get the interview call, how to prove your expertise and existence. And there are many other unknowns. You are getting a lot of interest from many different employers, but if nothing is happening, then this is the reason. And what you need to do, probably to have a higher chance of getting that job, number one thing, you have to impress the recruiter. You should have the industry expertise, communication and leadership skills so that you have a much better chance of winning the interviewers. And you should know how to match your college experience to the hiring manager's expectation. Everyone knows that you don't have the professional experience, you don't have the full-time experience, but definitely you can prove that you have the experience to do the job what the hiring manager is expecting to do. The number 3 is internal applicants. So someone is already working with the company, maybe on a part-time or a contract basis, and now they want to they can consider that part-time worker for a full-time position, knowing that that person's college will be done and he can start working full-time. What's the challenge? How can we even get that first job? The first part-time job. And even if you find that one, how to perform better on that job, and how you can convince the employer that you are the right choice for them. And really, what are the tools? You can make an entry as a volunteer or an intern or as a freelancer. Then you need to have good hard and soft skills. And this is where the side door approach will be handy. And this is where, of course, the final academy will be handy. So everything you see here, all the tools you need during our course, you are going to learn the skills. You are going to have the templates so that you can practice. You are going to have the workshops, and more or less you are going to have a group where you can discuss with them, and where you should be able to know what is the right thing to do and what are the things you should avoid. Again, you can visit the www.thefinalacademy.com to see the upcoming courses, and you can see what you can do with those courses. And why this thing works? Because not only the video lessons, it is going to give you a framework to think, act, and implement. If you are only watching the video lessons and you will not do anything to implement those for yourself, then pretty much it's useless. Then we are going to have case analysis. In the case analysis, we are going to discuss about the success stories from beginning to end, so that you understand what exactly is required to get a job. And in the last step, once you are confident, you can get that job. And here we are talking about a 4-week success plan. Within this 4 weeks, what you are going to do, the first step, what we call it as a step 0. There are about, I will say, 30 to 35 different smaller lessons you will go through. That is going to do your foundation. It's not about making resume or cover letter. The resume and cover letter will come later. But the step 0 is the one which will take you from a college grad and which will make your foundation ready for the job market. Then the second one, we are going to do a lot of work about finding out what you did during your college and how you can use those experience to match the job expectation. So it's pretty much about matching your college experience to the job experience. Then you are going to fine tune your profile, and you are going to build the personal branding. Probably 70 to 80% of the people, they get a job because of their personal branding. Its personal branding is about any other branding. If you are going to buy a car, or if you are going to buy a bike, why are you picking one bike and you are not picking the other bike? It's because of the brand, right? So the brand is the one who is just telling you what you like about that, why you are a big fan of that brand. And that is what is applicable for every individual too. So, but you have to build that brand, because as a college grad, maybe you don't have a lot of things to showcase. You don't have a lot of things to brag about. But if you collect everything what you did and you want to use them for you, definitely you can build a good personal branding. Next thing, we are going to teach you how to do professional networking, how to make best use of that networking to land in the inner circle of the company, and how can you apply for the jobs before even they are advertised. And then you are going to learn everything about the cover letter and resume. And the last piece is how to clear that interview. Probably that's also a very important piece, because if you cannot convince the hiring team during interview, probably you cannot get the job. And as I explained, other than video lessons, you are actually going to have a recipe for the success. You are going to have to do activities at the end of every chapter. You are going to have success case analysis, and these will be weekly addition. It's not one time. Every week we are going to talk to different people and we are going to share their story. And we are going to have regular webinars to keep you motivated. It's very easy to lose confidence, to lose interest when you are searching for a job, but we are there to support you throughout your journey. There will be group interactions, and also there will be regular job updates about the walk-ins. If someone is going to have a mass recruitment drive, we are also going to update those. Now you see AJ, where is he? He proved that he has the experience, and now he got hired. So he crossed the bridge. And see, before and now, recent college grad. Now also he's a recent college grad. That time also he had a decent GPA. That didn't change. But that time, the no work experience, that's what he was thinking. Now he proved that he has solid transferable experience for every job he's applying for. And that time he was confused, and now he is confident. That's a big transformation. And this is the example if you want to know, like when you are going to buy a house, and this is the same house but with little bit of decoration and taking certain steps, you can see how this house looks like before and after. And if this house is for sale, you can definitely know what's the difference it can make. It's the same place, but you see, like with finishing touch, how much better it is looking with the new picture on the right. So you can visit our website www.thefinalacademy.com, and you can subscribe to our courses. Pretty much I will say you should go for this step 0. It's still on the pre-launch phase, and that's why we are having a very good offer. You can, for $29.99, you can have this course and all other courses. Thank you so much for watching.